I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production. Someone recently requested I make something like a Terra Echo. I don't know if I can do that exactly, but I'll try to get close. This can be done a few different ways, but I want to make this the easiest way possible. Now, I could use M-Turbo Filter, which hasn't been released yet, but I'm going to use something more conventional. Also, I think it's probably easier and maybe better to do this in MXXX, but I know that's a bit expensive, so let's do it the easy way first. If you really want to see me do an MXXX, you're wondering like, hey, can you make a device for this in MXXX? Let me know down below and we'll do that. But first, let's get started. We have M Guitar Architect here. This really isn't important. I'm just using this so you can actually hear what it's doing. Okay, normal style preset. I'm just using this amp, this cabinet, nothing particularly interesting there. I have that going out as a send into our delay. But before we get into the delay, the thing that's actually going to make our sound is going to be MAutodynamicEQ. Now, you really need this one because I've checked some of the other ones and they don't have an Allpass filter. So the main sound of this is the Allpass filter, so you're going to need that. What we're going to do first is a little bit boring. We're going to have to set some things up first. So what I want to do is just go into here, and for one, I want to take all 7 of these and hook them up to a multi-parameter 1. And I want to use the frequency from that. So let's make sure all of these are turned on. That was already on. Here, here, and here. Okay. We're just going to go here to multi-parameter 1, click clear and learn like this, and just move this a little bit. All I want to do is make sure each one of these different bands has the frequency parameter registered here under multi-parameter 1. Then once we're done, we've done all 7, click record. We're going to look inside, make sure everything is okay there. Set the value mode to first parameter, that way we're seeing actual hertz. And for 1, we'll set it, you can set this for whatever you want, but I'm going to set it between 50 and let's say 5,000. That's probably too high, but that's okay. And 2, we don't want to do the same thing for each one, but we want all these to move together. So instead of doing all that and adjusting each one, just use first parameters range, use first parameters range, use first parameters range, all the way down until we get to 7. So make sure all those are done, and then we're going to move this around. Perfect. Looks like everything is okay. They should all be at the same number. That's good. We're going to do the same thing for the Q value. Now you're probably wondering like, why are you doing all this? I know this is a little bit tedious and annoying, but trust me, it'll help you later because you want this to be adjustable. And if we don't do this now, adjusting 7 of these manually is going to take forever. So this will just save you some time and energy. We're going to do the exact same thing for this one. For the Q value, let's just do it all at 100%. There's probably a better range for all of these, but I haven't found it yet. So in that case, we're just going to use full range for our Q value. We're going to check it again. There. And make sure I set this to first parameters range also. First parameter. Okay. That'll change later. Now what we want to do is we need to set up our all-pass filters. We're just going to go to 1. We don't need our dynamics, so we can turn that off. We're going to set this to all-pass, and we're going to set the slope to 10, like this. Now we're just going to copy this and paste it here over every single band, all the way to 7, like this. Boom. Okay. And if we look at the frequencies, all the frequencies should move together. They should be set at the same place, and the Q value should do the same thing, hopefully, if we set everything up correctly. Okay. It looks like we have. No problem. Now that we have that, let's take a listen. When we play it, it should have a zapping sound like this. You hear that woo woo. Now let's try moving up our Q value, or in this case down. Let's try like the 30s, I think, like here. And we can move this around. We move it up. Move it down here. I usually find like maybe somewhere around like 200 something. Maybe move this a little bit. And move these until you find something you think sounds good. And you don't have to be so precise. We can always adjust this later. Move it all the way up. Down a little bit. There we go. Now, once we have that, let's work with our delay here. I'm using mDelay MB. You can use pretty much anything here. So we have this setting here. Since we're doing this on ascend, let's turn our dry all the way off. 0, or actually I can just turn that off. Either way is okay. Let's turn our delay time up. You can set this however you want, but get up here. Now let's hear it. Okay, that sounds good. The problem I'm getting though is it sounds a little bit low in volume, so let's maybe turn this gain up to 0. And as you'll notice, when I pick lightly, you're not going to hear it so much, but as I pick harder, it'll become more prominent. And if you want a little bit more, we can adjust the saturation here. I think this will bring up the volume, but also make it a little bit more clear. From here, you can adjust the feedback or anything else however you want. I like to adjust this, the stereo, so we can add a little bit more here, so we can get more right and left separation for more stereo. That's a little bit too much. Maybe bring it down to like 5. Now, if you want it more maybe bright, turn up this low pass filter, or say high pass filter here, maybe around this. I actually like it a little bit darker, so what I'm going to do is turn this low pass filter down, maybe here. And I think sometimes a happy medium in between, like 5,000 and like 100, something like this. Now, I think this is pretty close to Echo Terra or Terra Echo territory, but there's more things we can do here. If we want this to sound a little bit more spacey and spread out, what we can do is we can actually modulate this delay. So if I go here to clear and learn, I move this here. Let's turn it on. And it should be moving back and forth here between 418. Actually, it's a little bit too much. Try like 430 maybe. Let's turn the speed up around here or so. Oh, there we go. Actually, make sure it's on. Okay, there we go. So it should be moving between those two. Let's increase it a little bit more. Ooh, that's way too much. That's going to give it a chorusing sound, but that's probably too much. Let's try 20 something, 425. So you're getting those like twerp zapping laser sounds in there, and you're getting a little bit of chorus in there. If you want less of that, turn down the rate and maybe also turn down the delay value. Too much. Let's turn this up to 29 or so. 429. Here we go. So hopefully that's giving you something nice and dreamy. Also, if you don't like that kind of chorus, you can set it to ping pong if you want. So you can do something like this. Let's turn the gain down because this gets loud. So that's up to you. And also, let's see, set it on classic here. We can also set another shorter delay in here too. So like maybe 100 something. I don't want it to be a multiple of this, but this seems pretty good. And gain up a bit. Turn this gain back up here. Let's hear this. Still a bit too loud there, so I'll probably turn this down. Change this to classic. Don't want to burn out or blow out my speakers. So with this, you can always turn the output down here. And probably the saturation is making it louder too, and more distorted, so we can turn that down. Didn't put it in stereo. My fault. I'll do it like this. So, using this, we can create some really cool effects and adjust these things to taste. You can adjust the low pass, high pass filters, the amount of saturation. If you like it really distorted, turn it up. If you don't want it distorted at all, just turn it all the way off. And by using tap 1 and 2, you can create like a really washy sound with that. Also in here, I went over this a little bit, but adjust these different frequencies and Q values to your own taste like this. So you can get lots of different variations using this. But I hope this answered any questions you had, and hopefully this will give you an interesting insight in how to do this. If you like a device, let me know, and I'll try to make this in MXXX so you don't have to go through this every single time and hook all this stuff up together. It'll just be one thing that you can adjust on your own. So anyways, if you're interested in that, let me know down below. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, and please check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.